Hey guys, this is gonna be a really quick video of how to AI power your images without alternating your design. And I know that a lot of you guys ask about how can I create an AI image, but I want it to kind of be based on a 3D model that I already have. And I know there's different methods that I covered on my last video, but really the best one that I think as of right now we have is ChatGPT, because for instance, I know I have done it in Korea AI or MidJourney AI, where you will upload the image and you will create a prompt and it will render your 3D model into a photorealistic renderer or a stylized rendering, but it will change a few elements. It will not respect the material. So there's a lot of back and forth that you need to do in order for you to get the result, and then you kind of have to blend it and stitch it into Photoshop for you to actually get the result that you want. But ChatGPT is not perfect, but it's a lot more reliable when it comes to just, let's call it, retexturizing your image into a more photorealistic and artistic rendering. So here's an example. So I uploaded this image into ChatGPT, and as you can tell, this is a screenshot of a 3D model that I made in ArchiCAD, and it's not like a high resolution or anything like that. So the higher resolution you go, probably the better. Now, something that I found better is when you actually do the screenshot with like lines, that ChatGPT can distinguish a little better. I think whenever you give ChatGPT a rendering, a screenshot, that there's not a lot of these lines. So the lines is just more like easier to read for the AI, just so you know. But again, it doesn't have to be like that. You can still get very good results with don't having those black lines. So that was outline, sorry. So here's the prompt that I use. You can use it. This is pretty basic, so you can always modify it and put a lot more detail into it. But I just told ChatGPT, I uploaded the image and just told ChatGPT, hey, render this base image into a watercolor sketch drawing without changing any detail or moving any features, etc. Ultra artistic with atmospheric effects and artistic sky, and this is what I got. Now, of course, you might have to eventually tell it to upscale it however you want to. You can go to Topaz or Photoshop and maybe sharpen it a little bit to kind of get what the results you want. But you can tell like it respected like all of it. Like it has the windows where there are the materials. Oh, now I understand. Like the materials here, it changed. So you can maybe tell it to kind of go like, hey, I need like a metal roof instead of a clay tile. But then 95% of the building was respected, right? Except for that. And you can potentially bring that into MidJourney, or you can probably change it here and edit it here. I wonder if I can come here and say scratch. I just rendered it to, but then, so here I tried it again and I said, render this image without changing any detail or moving any feature. So I pretty much use the same prompt, but I change it to, you know, like a more like realistic, right? So I put like ultra realistic and atmospheric sky, and this is what I got, which is a lot better than showing a 3D image. Now, it's still making the mistake of that. So when you kind of realize that ChatGPT is making a mistake on a specific rendering, you might want to detail that part. So for instance, in this one here, again, just so you guys can know that you guys can keep the same prompt but just change the style. So here I actually give it like a pen artistic sketch, right? Ultra artistic with atmospheric, and then now that's what I got, right? So you might need to adjust things here and there. I still create an image. So yeah, ChatGPT, I've found that it's a lot better than other images. So you see here's not, I don't think it's respecting that. So you might want to go to MidJourney. So here's where you can go to MidJourney, go to the editor, or go to Korea, go to the editor and erase that part. I probably need to do that, erase that part, and I'm gonna have to say metal roofing or standing seam metal roof, and hopefully it will change it to that style. But yeah, again, it's not perfect, but it has a lot more, how do we call this? It has a lot more reliability than the other ones, just because it does respect the materials, the forms, the openings. And I feel like if I could maybe go and put a little more detail into these things, it will have maybe gone better, but it's just getting confused that it's a metal roof here. So again, that's kind of the way you do it with ChatGPT. The last thing I want to show you guys very quickly is how can you from there create an image. Now, there's two options here that you can use. I find the most reliable option is, so MidJourney is great. I think MidJourney is the best one when it comes to you generating your own images in MidJourney and then creating a video out of that. But whenever you upload your own images to MidJourney and want to create a video of that, even though it's good, I don't find it as good as Kling. These are some of the, I mean, it's not bad, right? It does kind of have a good sense of what's doing, so it's definitely not bad. It's just something about it. It's just like, even though it's in slow motion, it still kind of does it fast, and sometimes that's something really funny, which is kind of gets these effects here. Or you say like, hey, look at that, and this without me adding a prompt. It's kind of funny, but as you can tell, like, it does funny things. I still think whenever you upload the image from a different rendering, it does kind of sometimes not as reliable as if, for instance, this was created in MidJourney. So it's a lot better when the image is originated in MidJourney, because it kind of already reads everything. It created for itself, so it kind of understands what it's everything. Whereas if you give it an image from a different software, it might not really understand a few things. So it might create like some funny elements here and there. But a solution to that, like another tool that I really find more reliable, is Kling. So you see how Kling really respects the line work that the image has. And something I found really interesting, if you guys want to use it, this is like a quick clip here. But so when you use the latest format for Kling, normally it will tell you that it's at 2. The newest one is at 2.1 to extend the video. But if you generate that, you upload the image and generate that with that Kling 1.6 version, it will allow you to extend the video. So if you want something more than 5 seconds or a 10-second video, you might want to make sure you render it with the Kling 1.6, so you have 10 second video, so you can keep extending it. And now Kling is adding like also audios that AI audios for the computer, so it's kind of like a lake or a creek going there. That's all I have so far, guys. I know, like, I've tried to retexture things from MidJourney without having amazing results. So here is one that I retextured with MidJourney. Right, I gave it the same image I gave him before, but then this one I got. So as you can tell, like, MidJourney is not really respecting a lot the materials and things like that. It retexturizes some elements that are very nice. So sometimes it does it really good, but some other times it's not as reliable when it comes to that. So I found ChatGPT more reliable when it comes to rendering an image from a model that you already have. And if I had to put a workflow from that, if you're gonna just use a 3D model view, then go to ChatGPT and then go to Kling AI. If you're just using it for exploration purposes, I would say go from MidJourney, and they keep in the animations and everything in MidJourney. So I think that's, as of right now, the best workflow I found. But you can still do everything from MidJourney if you really need to. So that's all I have, guys. And if you like the video, subscribe, give me a like, and let me know what else you want to see. Thank you.